Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all in today's webinar, Migraine versus Headaches, Myths, Precaution, and Treatment, under the series Arogya, the Essence of Healthy India, hosted by National Service Scheme, Shivaji College. We at Shivaji College, a premier institution of University of Delhi, accredited with a grade A by NAC, believe in selfless community service and making a significant contribution to the society. In NSS, students and faculty work together to lend a helping hand to the community. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. Participants are required to keep their audios and videos off throughout the event just to avoid streaming errors. If you have any questions, you can post them in the chat box that would be taken at the end of this session. Kindly fill the feedback form that will be circulated at the end of this session. We need your cooperation in conducting this virtual event smoothly. Now, I would like to invite our NSS faculty member, Dr. Antara Bhatia, to address the audience.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you. A very good evening and welcome to all to this webinar on migraines versus headaches, myths, precautions and treatment. So as Judy said, we at NSS always aim to speak on prevailing issues related to health, environment and society. We also consider physical and mental health to be equally important in leading a harmonious life. Thus, I would like to appreciate today's speaker, Dr. Rahul, for enlightening us on such a relevant topic. We all know that migraine headaches can have immensely debilitating effects, and it's extremely important to identify triggers and discover ways to deal with them. I would also add that now it has become all the more imperative in today's times because the stresses arising from the pandemic situation and the lockdown have been unprecedented. Thank you for coming, sir, and welcome on behalf of Shivaji College and NSS.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words.
Thank you.
I think what's known about the neurology is still scattered and uncertain. Migraine, a neurological disease with extremely neurological symptoms. It is the third most prevalent illness in the world and still common between the age of 18 to 44. It remains poorly understood disease that often remains undiagnosed and undertreated. So, to enlighten our knowledge, we would welcome Dr. Rahul Jain. He's a neurologist by profession. He completed his MBBS and MC in general surgery 2009. Thereafter, completed his neurosurgery, one of the hardest field in a single attempt. He has a lot of experience of working as a junior and a senior resident of Department of Neurology in different hospitals. He completed his training in cervical spine surgery in 2011. He's an inspiration for all the budding doctors in our society. He's also a member of Indian Medical Association and currently working as a senior consultant and head of department in Columbia Asia Hospital, Gurugram. I hope that today's session will be an enlightening and fruitful experience for all of you. So without a further ado, I would like to hand over this session to our honorable guest, Dr. Rahul Jain. Sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for your kind words. Hi, good evening, everybody. As we all know, we all tend to have headaches recurrently, and we need to be sure how to prevent them, because headache is such a thing which is not going to leave us till the last day of our life. What my topic would be including today is to find out what are the types of headache and whether you have migraine or not, because migraine needs a specific kind of a treatment. So we need to first try to differentiate between the different types of headache. So as we all know, I think we have all experienced headaches. What distinguishes migraine from any other headache is it is a prolonged attack of headache. It is very debilitating and it is associated with many symptoms which are apart from the normal headache. So like if you are having recurrent headaches, which are lasting for hours, and along with the headache you are having many symptoms like visual symptoms, perception of abnormal light around the light source, or you are feeling very irritable during your headaches. You want to switch off lights, you want to switch off TV and just lie down in a place. Or apart from this, you are having audio problems, like you're hearing voices. So all this may be migraine. So if with a simple headache you are having these kind of symptoms, you definitely need to consult a neurologist. Now the second part is how is a migraine different from other types of headache. So the common headaches that usually we have is one which nowadays we have is stress induced headache or tension headache. What happens in tension headache is you have severe gripping headache, you feel like a band tightening around your head, and this comes suddenly and is also gone suddenly in a few minutes to maybe half an hour time. Usually it is precipitated by some stressful event, and once it is out, then your headache goes. In migraine it is also similar, but then your
हम्म,
headache not,
तो
is
कुछ दुख ही
usually
नहीं है, ऐसे
hemi.
काम करवा रहे क्या बताएं।
Sir,
Yeah,
please continue. I think somebody's audio was on. Please continue, sir. Sorry
yeah.
about that.
Now,
Apologies for that.
now suppose then there are headaches because of say hypertension. You have a migraine. You have cervical related headache. They are usually on the back of your head. Now, if your headache is associated with the following features, you need to consider whether, find out whether you have migraine or not. So the common thing associated with migraine, one, it starts as a slow headache. It is never very, sharp rise of headache or very severe headache initially. Initially, it is a dull aching kind of a headache, and you don't, you are out of place, you don't feel like doing anything, you want to avoid sounds and light, and then gradually the headache builds up on you. Another interesting feature in migraine is usually it is a hemicranial headache, thereby meaning only one side of your head is paining. Now what happens is gradually as the pain progresses, the patient identify that whether it is a simple headache or it's migraine. So one, usually migraine is a hemicranial headache, so one sided headache to begin with, and it starts as a uh, simple kind of a feeling of heaviness in the head, sometimes mood changes, and gradually it builds on and becomes a bursting kind of a headache, which is associated with feeling of vomiting, nausea, and patient becomes very irritable, doesn't want to do anything, just lie down. So if you are having this kind of a headache, so you may be having migraine. So another things, migraine is not only limited to the head, it can actually spread to the face, neck. So if the headache becomes severe, and many people have come to me with neck pains and being treated for cervical pain and not getting any relief, and when we take a proper history and examination, and then we find out that actually it's migraine and not a cervical problem. So this is one thing. Another thing, the age group. So usually migraine will start in the teenage, and it will be with you for most of your life, uh, till usually 50 years of age, and by that time gradually it goes off. So anybody who's having migraine will have to bear this headache for a long time. So we need to understand how to take care of headache, how to prevent these kind of headaches. I'll just try to discuss all this today very briefly, but yes, I'll try to be objective in a manner that you will be able to inculcate in your daily life. Now, another thing is, it is migraine is much more common in females, usually 3 to 4 times more common in females as compared to males. So females need to be aware of this thing. So if you are having unusual headaches recurrently and they are going on for hours or maybe sometimes days, then definitely you need to consult a good neurologist, because these headaches are usually very well controlled on medication and otherwise if you take certain precautions. Now the question is, so say you have a headache and you have certain kind of features and you feel it's migraine. So how do you go about it? So one thing is, obviously you visit a doctor and all, but today what I want to stress is what you should do's and do nots in migraine. So migraine, if we go into the scientific data, so there are many theories. There is a vascular theory that because of blood vessel changes in the brain, migraine happens. Then the recent one is a neuralgic theory where the facial pain nerves, they get stimulated. So that is why the person tends to have lot of pain in the head and neck area. Uh, so there is a role of certain chemicals, the most important being serotonin. So this is a chemical which is produced either more in people with migraine. So this is usually our stress hormone. So whenever we have stress, this is produced more in our brain. And in people with migraine, it is produced even more. So the current treatment of migraine is aimed at decreasing the production of this hormone in the brain. So how do we actually do that? So one thing is very important. Migraine is associated with your food habits. So I would like to stress there are certain foods which you need to avoid if you are having migraine. To make things easier and slightly easier to understand. So I have got a tray full of uh, things which a migraine person should not eat. So I would like to just bring it to your notice. So it is my personal formula that I tell my patient. Usually, most of the things start with C. So these are the things you should avoid if you are having migraine, because somehow they tend to produce a lot of tryptophan in your brain and cause a lot of headache. So we start with C. C is chilies. So capsicum is one thing which I have found is universally associated with migraine headache. So anybody with migraine should avoid consuming, any type of capsicum, the red, green, or whatever. Along with this, green chilies, another very important thing. It is usually, if you have more chilies, you are going to have more headache. Then cold drinks, any cold drink which has gas. So there is a very common thing which people say कि gas हो गई है और सर पे चढ़ गई है and causing headache. So usually it is a migrainous headache. So what happens is anything which causes acidity or gastritis for you, that causes production of serotonin and that causes the headache. Then the next in line is coffee. Now, in all other headaches, usually whenever you are having headache, you tend to have a coffee and you tend to get some relief. But it is opposite in case of migraine. So coffee is a strict no-no. Where try to consume less coffee. And another very interesting thing is cashews. So all starting with C: cashew, coffee, chilies, capsicum, cold drinks. And another thing is Chinese food. So no noodles, no momos, and last but not the least, cheese. So all milk products should be by and large avoided. Gradually, when patient understands, so I always tell them to experiment. Whatever suits them, they can take it. Whatever doesn't, they should avoid. So this is most important thing I feel in the treatment of migraine. Your food, what you eat, what you do not eat. This is very, very important. So anybody who's having migraine or who feels they have migraine, please start to avoid these foods and see whether you have a change. Now, the second part of managing migraine is the uh, the trigger factors. There are specific trigger factors for migraine headache. You will gradually, once you have recurrent headache, you will understand what triggers headache for you. So you need to avoid those trigger factors. Again, for simplicity point of view and to just make it simple and easy to remember, what I have done is I have made a formula like for food which you should avoid. It should be most of the food starting with C. For stress cause headache, you they usually start with S. So S for stress. Most important trigger of migraine is stress. Nowadays we are seeing lot of migraine patients because there is a lot of stress, there is a lot of fear from corona, there is a lot of financial stress on the people. Students are not having their regular colleges, schools, they are having their own kind of stress. Then staying home, not going out with your friends, which is usually the greatest stress buster for each one of us, is not happening. So we need to manage our stress. Stress is something which is not going to, it is not going to be something which will not happen. It will happen every day for other reasons. So what we need to understand is we should know how to manage our stress, how to ignore certain things which are stressful to us, how to maybe just take it easy policy for certain other things which we cannot change. So that is how we can just reduce our stresses. Second is, whenever you are having stress, see what takes you out of your stress, what you like doing when you are stressed out. Somebody might love to paint, somebody might need to talk to their friends. So whenever you are under stress, try to do the activities which relax you. Listening to music is another good stress reliever. The second trigger for migraine is sleep. So people, again, S. So S for stress, S for sleep. So people who sleep less, who sleep late, they are going to have more migraines, and in fact, a lot of other medical conditions. So it has been scientifically proved that people who sleep less and who sleep late usually tend to have hypertension, diabetes, weight gain, and cosmetically, if we speak, dark circles under the eye, as I have. So these kind of things. So if it's not a professional requirement, then please make it a habit to sleep early and take adequate sleep for at least 6 to 8 hours. It should not be scattered sleep. Now the next in line is um, for migraine triggers is sound. So loud sounds are a strict no-no. If you are used to, listening to music on your headphones and all, try to avoid that. Keep the volume less, so that will not precipitate your headache. Then sunlight. So very, very bright lights, especially sunlight, they tend to trigger migraine. So anybody having migraine, I advise them to keep a pair of sunglasses with you always when you're going out. Uh, in fact, I have known many patients who keep pair of sunglasses in their car dashboards so that they may not miss when they are driving. Then apart from this, other things which can precipitate migraine may be different to different individuals. but very frequently it is precipitated by sudden changes in temperature. So anybody who is, say, in a AC environment, suddenly going out in the sun, or say you are driving in a car with AC on and you just get out suddenly when you arrive at your destination. So the sudden change, body is not able to adapt and triggers a stress response. So what you should be doing is switch off your AC few minutes before you are going to stop your car. Then another important is again food related. You are Anybody having migraine should not miss their meals. So migraineurs have to have small frequent meals, or if not small frequent meal, they have to have their meals in time. You should have your breakfast as soon as possible in early in the morning, then your lunch and your dinner at regular time intervals, and even in between, if you feel there is a gap between one meal to the another, you should have something. uh, in my experience, the simplest thing any migrainer can have is biscuits. So I say the cheapest medicine for a migraine patient is biscuit. So whenever you have, say you had lunch at 2 o'clock and you're going to have your dinner at 9, so in between at 4 or 5, have a biscuit or something to keep your stomach filled, and don't let that acid which is being produced, trigger a response for your headache. So these are the uh, common things which trigger migraine. Now we come to the next part. Uh, Apart from taking care of all these precautions, so we as discussed most of the things, starting with C, you need to avoid as your food, avoid your stress response. Still you try doing these and still you feel you are not getting relief, you're getting headaches recurrently. So when is the need to be on a regular medication? So WHO clearly states that if you are having more than 2 headaches per week, that is more than 8 per month, then definitely you need a regular medication. The medication for migraine is basically of two types. One is which takes care of the trigger factors, which reduces the amount of you know triggering hormone in your brain. So it is going to change or control the attack. And the second type is the painkiller, which is basically to be taken on SOS basis whenever you have a headache. So it will reduce that headache. So as far as the medication part is concerned, I think we better leave it to discussion with the doctor, finding out what is best for each individual. So there are many medication and very good medications with almost nil side effects now available for migraine. And I have seen people having a miserable life getting transformed into, they usually say that things have drastically changed for them after starting the medication. Usually when we start medication for migraine, we always tell the patient that the medicine we are going to continue for at least 3 weeks to 3 months. So don't think that migraine has happened and you've taken a medicine, and then maybe in week or 10 days and then it's off and you won't need further medication. Usually it takes, in my experience, average 3 months for the patient to change his lifestyle, and the medicines to be tapered off gradually as the headaches get controlled. And then the painkillers which are available, they are actually to be taken as soon as you have a headache. What happens usually, which I have seen in my practice, that usually a young female coming to my clinic and she says, "Sir, I have these kind of headache and I know it's migraine," and then they say that we resist taking painkillers. Sir, I try doing common things is putting some balm on the head, putting some piece of cloth on your head and tightening it to reduce headache, sleeping off, or taking, some people say they take some fluids or some squash or something, and then it gets relieved. And once half an hour to 1 hour is over and if the headache has not got relieved, then people think of taking a medicine for the headache. But then by that time it's usually late, because if you take your headache medicine within the first 15 to 20 minutes of starting, it immediately cuts down your headache time by a significant time interval. So if somebody who's having a headache, migraine headache, so we call something called aura of migraine. Aura means the prodromal symptoms that a person feels before the headache. So the person comes to know, yes, like he starts seeing visually abnormal things, or he's not able to see towards light, or he starts, his headache is becoming heavy, his head is becoming heavy. So these, or he's feeling suddenly nausea or neck pain. So if, when these symptoms come before the headache and you start medicine, you take your rescue medicine, as I call it, and usually the headache is gone in 15 to 20 minutes. And if you defer this medicine for say an hour or so, then the usual time to control of headache maybe 6 to 8 hours. So you can feel, you can think of the difference that it can make. So my request is, anybody who's having recurrent headaches, first confirm it with a doctor whether it's migraine or not. Second, avoid those trigger factors, avoid the foods which cause migraine. Apart from them, try to take your rescue medicine as soon as possible. There is no fun in thinking, I will not take a painkiller, or I'll not take the medicine and just see whether I can do without it. Because once it becomes a full blown attack, then it is going to last for hours and hours, and sometimes up to 3 to 4 days also. So this is all I feel I need to discuss with you regarding the common things about headaches and migraine. I think I would be very happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a thought-provoking session. Now, I would like to invite Nisha, President of NSS Shivaji College, for addressing the questions from the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Julie. So the first question we have got is, sir, are there any, like you have explained what not to eat, is there any particular diet one should follow to avoid migraine? Like he must eat that.
Okay, I think that's a very good question. Uh, Frankly speaking, uh, I don't think there is any particular thing which has been advised anywhere in literature which says, that a migraine patient should take these things. Uh, so what I would say is take food with less chilies and less of milk products in your diet. Really speaking, I don't know of any particular thing which you keep on eating and you have less headache.
Thank you, sir. And also, can poor posture cause migraines, like poor sitting postures or sleeping postures can lead to migraine?
Usually, no. Actually, what happens is, as I said, migraine, sometimes headache is associated with neck pains. So many times even doctors also misdiagnose a neck pain to be cervical pain and not migraine. Uh, Per se, migraine is not precipitated by a wrong posture. So I don't think posture has any major role, until unless maybe you are hanging upside down from somewhere doing some asana, or so that may increase the blood flow to the brain and cause headache. Apart from that, in normal routine life, I don't think so.
Thank you, sir. And one more question, like, should we avoid taking medicine during mild headaches?
Uh, yeah, so now the question arises is, uh, whether this mild headache which you are experiencing, whether it has the potential to go to a full-blown headache. So people who are non-migraineurs, not having a migraine headache, yes, in those we would want them to avoid medication or take simple medication like paracetamol because it has the least, side effects or anything. But for people who are diagnosed, not advisable to not take a headache medicine when they are starting to have headache, because if it goes full blown, then it can last for hours. Lot of discomfort is there, so why to go to all those things.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So for migraine people with mild headache, there's nothing like mild headache. Every migraine headache has a potential to go into a full blown headache, so better to take your rescue medicine. But for people with non-migrainous headache, yes, you can try avoiding medication, try some rest and all. And if it is okay, then you need to.
Thank you, sir. Also, is migraine completely genetic? Like, can it be transferred from the parents to the children also?
Yes. So migraine is actually hereditary, and in almost the literature says 4 out of 5 people have migraine, which is a gift, handed over down from their parents to them. So completely, it is mostly hereditary. But nowadays what I have seen is a lot of acquired migraine. Parents never had headache, but due to the stress factor, due to the nowadays people sleeping late, having lot of aspirations, trying to do lot of things to at one time, people are having de novo migraine, which is not hereditary. But yes, usually it is hereditary.
Okay, sir. Also, sir, are there any side effects of the drugs that are prescribed to the migraine patient? Or if yes, then what are the side effects?
Okay, so obviously, whatever you take inside your mouth. So whenever my patient asks me, sir, इनका कोई side effect तो नहीं होएगा medicine का, I always say that anything you take through your mouth has side effects. So if you take excess of food, you become obese. So that is a side effect. So everything has side effect. But yes, now we have very good medicines which have very, very less side effect. And now we have a basket of medicines. So if we individualize the treatment to the particular patient, like young female, I would give another medicine, middle-aged female something else, for a elderly lady something else, for males something else. So the incidence of side effects is usually not much. Second, when we are dealing with migraine, if like I feel that if we counsel the patient again and again and try to make them, to not eat particular foods, take care of their trigger factors, then the period of medication is usually curtailed. So the incidence of side effect also, goes down. But yes, there are certain people who need to take medicines for sometimes years together. Then yes, they are likely to have certain side effects. But you have to weigh the risk versus benefit ratio. So that is for the doctor to decide. And certain times when patient becomes allergic to a drug, or he has some initial side effect, then we tend to change the medicines. So that is where the role of your neuro specialist comes in.
Thank you, sir. Also, sir, one participants want to know that could any of the medicines such as birth control pills make the migraine headaches worse?
Yeah, yeah. So there are certain, like we have food as trigger factors, certain, so certain drugs also can precipitate migraine, and where most common is one is the birth control pills. They definitely tend to aggravate your migraine. So anybody who is having migraine and taking oral contraceptive pills, they are likely to have increase in their attacks of migraine. But again, luckily we have now, so there are certain conditions where patients are taking steroids. They also tend to have more migrainous headaches. Another important point I would like to highlight here is that even taking migraine medicines for a long time causes aggravation of migraine. So this is something interesting. Uh, if you don't take the precautions which I highlighted regarding your food habits, your lifestyle changes, and you say ठीक है migraine है, I pop a pill, headache चला जाता है, and you keep on taking your headache medication off and on, then there can be a time when even this medicine gets you more of headache. So you have to be careful that if you want to reduce your headaches, you have to change your lifestyle and eating habits.
Thank you so much, sir. I think that's all for now. You have answered all the questions of the audience. So over to you, Juhi.
Thank you, Nisha. I would now like to invite our NSS convener, Dr. Ruchira Dhingra, for a formal vote of thanks. Ma'am.
धन्यवाद जूही। वेबिनार में उपस्थित आप सभी लोगों का तहे दिल से स्वागत। एनएसएस शिवाजी कॉलेज हमेशा से इस प्रयास में रहा है कि वो निरंतर नए, नवीन और परिवेश से संबंधित विषयों को लेकर आपके सामने आए। इसी की कड़ी के रूप में आज हमारे साथ डॉक्टर राहुल जैन थे, जिन्होंने माइग्रेन क्या होता है, क्यों होता है और उसके कारण और निवारण समाधान क्या क्या हो सकते हैं, इन सब के बारे में विस्तार से आपको बताया। निश्चित रूप से हमारा रहने का तरीका, जीवन शैली हम जिसे कहते हैं, हमारा खान पान, और सबसे बड़ी बात आप बच्चों के लिए जो रात को देर से सोते हैं, कुछ भी खाते पीते रहते हैं और स्ट्रेस तो मानो इतना लेते हैं जैसे दुनिया जहान को बदलने की ताकत ही आप में आ गई हो। तो इन सब को जब तक आप अपने साथ रखेंगे तब तक माइग्रेन नामक दुश्मन आपके पीछे पड़ा ही रहेगा और राहुल जैन को हमें बार बार बुलाना पड़ेगा जिससे वो आपकी समस्याओं का समाधान कर सकें। एनएसएस शिवाजी कॉलेज के सभी प्राध्यापक, यूनिट के सभी सदस्य डॉक्टर राहुल जैन का तहे दिल से आभार अभिव्यक्त करते हैं, जिन्होंने अपने बिजी शेड्यूल में से हमारे एक बार कहने पर अपना बहुमूल्य समय निकाला और हमें इतनी अच्छी जानकारी दी। निश्चित रूप से बच्चों, ये जो दवाइयाँ हम खाते हैं सिर दर्द की, ये कोई चना मटर नहीं है जिसे आपने जब चाहा उसको खा लिया। चाहे डॉक्टर साहब ने भी ये कहा कि हमें ज़्यादा सिर दर्द को अपना दोस्त नहीं बनाना चाहिए, जरा सा सिर दर्द हो तो हमें दवाई ले लेनी चाहिए, पर अगर हम इसे खाते ही चले जाएंगे तो आप एक मेडिसिन से आप दूसरे मेडिसिन पे, दूसरे से तीसरे में आप स्विच ऑन करते चले जाएंगे। हमारे इस वेबिनार में बहुत सारे ऐसे प्रतिभागी हैं जिन्हें मैं व्यक्तिगत रूप से जानती हूँ, जो माइग्रेन के दर्द से पीड़ित हैं और उस समय जिस समय उनको दर्द होता है, ना वो किसी से बात कर सकते हैं, ना कुछ खा पी सकते हैं, ना कोई मोमेंट एंजॉय कर सकते हैं। तो ये बहुत भयंकर बीमारी है जिसको हम हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, जाके पैर ना फटे बेवाई वो क्या जाने पीर पर आई। जिसको ये सिर दर्द होता है वही जानते हैं कि इसका क्या मतलब है। एक बार फिर डॉक्टर राहुल जैन का हम सब लोग आभार अभिव्यक्त करते हैं और उनसे ये वादा लेते हैं कि भविष्य में भी, क्योंकि ये बहुत नामी न्यूरोसर्जन हैं, इसलिए हम उनसे ये उम्मीद करते हैं कि जब जब उनके पास जरा सा भी समय होगा वो अपने अनुभवों से हमें अवगत कराने के लिए हमारे साथ जरूर सम्मिलित होंगे। धन्यवाद।